I'm Sumit's wife. Today's video is about O.J. Simpson.
You're doing great, babe.
That's a lot of nuts!
When I tell you to name the most popular Simpson you can think of, what do you think? Homer J. Simpson? Bartholomew J. Simpson? Graggle Simpson? What about O.J. Simpson? The J stands for J. Let's get something straight right away. The trial of O.J. Simpson, in which he was accused of murdering his ex-wife and some other guy, took place over the course of 11 months back in 1995, when the crime supposedly occurred 6 months before that in 1994, which is like 4 months before I was even born. So it's a little bit difficult for me to act as a source of expertise on the matter, but because it was the first televised criminal trial and everybody was glued to their TVs as a result, it has continued to be a facet of pop culture referenced in multiple mediums as well as multiple comedic takes. It's basically impossible to not know about the O.J. Simpson trial, despite the fact that it was 30 years ago at this point.
Mama, O.J. Simpson just died.
It's about time he killed Nicole.
Because the bulk of O.J. Simpson's popularity and his time spent in the spotlight was during this criminal trial, which took place in 1995, most of the online discourse that you'll see about O.J. is a little bit tongue-in-cheek. People are making memes about O.J. Simpson as if he's this relevant cultural phenomenon, when in reality, any talk about O.J. Simpson was pretty much over 15, 20, 30 years ago at this point. They're basically making fun of him as if he's relevant, despite the fact that he's not, much the way we make jokes about the Roman Empire, or a meme you saw on Facebook. Except, that's not entirely true. O.J. recently passed away at the age of 70-something, which means he's actually in an awkward situation where he gained a tremendous amount of popularity before the invention of the internet, and then after the internet became prominent in everybody's lives, he gained a second wind of being an internet celebrity after being an actual celebrity, and has gone through 2 separate generations of pre-internet memes and post-internet memes that I think is fascinating to discuss, and we will do right after a word from our sponsors. Huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Into the AM, who now have a new product. A year in development, they have just launched the all-day pants. I know what you're thinking, Sumito, aren't all pants all day? Really think about how stupid you sound asking that question. These are called the all-day pants. They're designed to be incredibly stretchy, yet resilient, fit to your body perfectly. They're breathable, yet durable. They look professional, but they feel like I'm wearing sweatpants all day. And I tested that myself.
Babe, how long are you gonna do that for?
All day. Go check out the brand new all-day pants. They're currently running a discount of up to 70% off of all of their graphic tees until the 15th of April, and you get an extra 10% off on top of your entire order with discount code Sumito, or just by clicking the link down in the description. Check out Into the AM, support the channel. Thank you yet again for sponsoring another video. Let's get back to O.J. So the main thing from the actual televised trial, the biggest meme as it were to come out of this 1995 airing of the courtroom proceedings of O.J. Simpson's trial, was the fact that he was found acquitted. Despite the fact that the general consensus is that it's very obvious that he killed his ex-wife and that other dude. Unfortunately, during the courtroom trials, Phoenix Wright was Phoenix stupid, and as a result, the jury was unable to come to a consensus that O.J. Simpson was guilty, primarily because of one key piece of evidence that would be highlighted for the rest of history, in that the gloves that were found alongside the murder weapon did not fit O.J. Simpson's hands. And in the words of his lawyer, Johnny Cochran, if it does not fit, you must acquit, which would be memed for eternity. Now, I've watched summaries of the court proceedings and actually seen Johnny Cochran say this, if it does not fit, you must acquit line. I don't actually think he's talking about the gloves specifically, but rather the notion that O.J. Simpson, as famous as he is, could get away with killing somebody in broad daylight with nobody seeing him, and therefore it didn't fit that he was the killer and therefore you must acquit. But it's funnier to think of it as if the gloves don't fit, since it was such a key piece of evidence. Side note, the reason that they didn't fit, speculated by many people, is because O.J. Simpson had stopped taking arthritis medication during the trial proceedings, and as a result his hands had swelled up to the point where they no longer fit the gloves that he probably wore when he probably did the crime. Other little side note, in addition to Johnny Cochran on his defense team, O.J. Simpson also had Robert Kardashian, father of Kim Kardashian, back before any of them were famous for anything other than this courtroom's proceedings. Caitlyn Jenner would tweet out "good riddance" just a few days ago after hearing news that O.J. Simpson had died, further fueling the not really believed but somewhat existing rumors that O.J. Simpson had slept with Kris Jenner and is the real father of Khloe or Kim Kardashian. I don't think anybody actually believes this, but it is a funny little tie-in to a rumor that's been going on for like decades at this point. Easter eggs aside, it isn't so much the courtroom's proceedings or the fact that O.J. Simpson was found acquitted of the crime that led to people talking about it for decades and decades. No, more so, it's O.J. Simpson's behavior after being acquitted of the crime that has led people to believe that he isn't, like, nobody actually feels like justice was done here. It's pretty widely accepted that O.J. Simpson absolutely murdered those people. And O.J. Simpson has not done a good job of leading people to believe anything else. In the first in a series of stupid decisions by O.J. Simpson, he was found responsible to still have to pay financial fees to reimburse the families who he had harmed, despite the fact that he had been acquitted of the crime. And in an effort to raise money to do so, O.J. Simpson decided to write a book titled "If I Did It," which follows the steps of what he would have done if he were to have murdered his ex-wife, but he totally didn't. This book is a hypothetical. I don't even have a phrase to describe what this is, O.J. Simpson, because if I did, the best phrase I could come up with is getting away with murder, which is the thing you did. Excerpts from the book and a bunch of interviews with O.J. Simpson were then put together to create a second book that was released, and O.J. Simpson was, according to Wikipedia, paid $600,000, and the royalties of the book and the ownership of the book were then passed along to the victims' families to somewhat settle the civil court in which found that O.J. Simpson was financially responsible for this thing. So the entirety of this book now feels like the equivalent of Britney Spears writing a song that Miley Cyrus would perform, but then she turned down and it ends up being performed by Rihanna, but then they drop it on the studio version of the deluxe album, and now Robin Thicke is performing it on tour for some reason. But regardless, the title's funny. Signing off on the book was only part one of the deal. He also had to conduct an interview and then answer some questions, which cannot be that difficult to fuck up. They're gonna ask if you murdered somebody, you were already acquitted of the crime, just say no and don't do anything stupid afterwards. Can you handle that, OJ?
After we finished filming, OJ said to me that he had a surprise for me, and I genuinely was surprised. I think it was his idea of a joke, and this is it.
Guys, I'm gonna say something controversial, and I promise it's not only because I have the confidence to say it now that he's gone. I think he did that shit. Fast forward to 2019. Twitter is still Twitter, and it's not owned by Elon Musk. Oh my God, I would pay money to go back to those days. Guess who uploads a video showcasing that they will now be using Twitter? It's O.J. Simpson.
Hey Twitter world, this is yours truly. Now coming soon to Twitter, you'll get to read all my thoughts and opinions on just about everything. Now there's a lot of fake OJ accounts out there, so this one, at the real OJ32, is the only official one. So this should be a lot of fun. I got a little getting even to do. So God bless, take care.
Naturally, upon seeing this video, everybody on the internet was immediately terrified. O.J. Simpson has some getting even to do? Even scarier. He's in his 70s and he knows how to use the internet. It is over. Now, while it isn't exactly proven that this is to be true, the footage that you see behind me is of one of the most prominent parody O.J. Simpson accounts, @Killer O.J. Simpson, revealing that he supposedly, and again, this isn't exactly proven, but it isn't not proven, that he was DM'd by the real O.J. Simpson, telling him to stop and cease any activity that he has with this parody account, seemingly make it seem as O.J. Simpson has nothing better to do than to actually argue with Twitter trolls online. That's what this dude's life has led to. It isn't official whether or not O.J. Simpson is actually spending his days DMing parody accounts and telling them to stop making fun of them, but it does kind of feel in character. Over the decades that pop culture has been taking shots at OJ for one reason or another, now that he has a Twitter account, it would only make sense that his getting even would be him lashing out at the people who had been making fun of him for so long. One such instance was a news article in Florida that reported that O.J. Simpson was in hospice after being diagnosed with prostate cancer and was undergoing chemotherapy in Nevada as a result, and he posted a video supposedly disproving this claim.
Hey, X-World. Hospice? Hospice? You talking about hospice? No, I'm not in any hospice. I don't know who put that out there, but
whoever put that out there, I guess is like the Donald say, can't trust the media. In any event, I'm hosting a ton of friends for the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas. And all is well, you know? So, hey, guys, take care. Have a good Super Bowl weekend.
2 months later, and he's dead. So I don't know what's worse, the fact that O.J. Simpson decided to lie to anybody who was following him online all the way to the end of his life, or the fact that he actually calls Twitter X. Like, do you get the internet or not, OJ? Get your shit together. That's all the memes and bits of internet virality I was able to find and wanted to report on O.J. Simpson. Obviously, this is an individual and a story that has been going on for longer than I have been alive, so it only made sense now that he's passed away to put a little bit of a cap on it and do a bit of a recap for you guys in case you weren't aware of O.J. Simpson for some reason. Big shout out to the Patreon scrolling in the back. Remember to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Click the link in the description to get yourself some brand new all-day pants or 70% off all the t-shirts that they've got over at Into the AM. Thank you again for sponsoring the video, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace!